For example, if you have guns, like these are of course replicated guns because I live in Sweden, and in Sweden guns are illegal unless you have a license. Anyhow, if you have a gun, it's the best way, overall best way is, and I mean it's practical, it's fast, it's effective, it's the overall best way. Yeah? I can do it like this instead.